Okay, so mabuhay everyone. So I think this is our the final recorded discussion kasi ang inclusion nitong module na to is module 12 to 15. So I will be discussing or I will be discussing the for four four modules in one recorded discussion. So anyway, bale, halos magkaka-continuous lang naman itong mga to, and then small lang naman yung mga parts niya. So, relationship development and strategies. So, dun sa previous discussion natin, so we've discussed, or dun sa module 11 natin, we've discussed about by knowing or understanding your target market. Now, how can we build a strong relationship, or how can we build a relationship with our customers? So, of course, by building strong relationship or strong bond with your customers is crucial as a business owners, in most especially in growing your business. Okay? So, mabilis lang tawag dito, in terms of as entrepreneur, mabilis lang tayong mag-conceptualize ng ideas in terms of developing products or innovating products. But when in terms of tawag dito, in terms of building relationship with our customers, like fostering loyalty, is yun na yung medyo crucial sa atin. Ngayon, paano yung mga strategies na pwede nating gawin to have a solid customers connections in order for us, to boost their loyalty, retention, and of course, by getting revenue or by getting profit of our business. So, when we say customer relationship, so it is all about increasing loyalty through data, or by analyzing or getting the data of our clients, our sales. Okay? So, when we say customers relationship management, it is all about the retention or the loyalty of our clients. Ayan, yung mas napapadali na yung delivery or mode of our delivery in terms of giving a quality products to our clients. Why? Because we know our clients. Gets natin? 'Di ba? Malalaman natin, mas mabilis para sa atin magbigay ng service when we know our target market. Now, we have here the key pillars of relationship development. Number 1, trust and transparency. So, when we say trust is earned by clear communication and consistent delivery. So, that is trust. And actually, trust and honesty. Trust, transparency, and honesty. So, magkakasama tong mga to. Sabi nga nila minsan, loyalty is different into honesty. Ayan. So, in terms of honesty and transparency and trust, yung mga ganyan, may mga minsan meron yung nag-i-stay sa atin. They are loyal to us, but they are not honest. Or let's say for example, hindi nila masabi-sabi kung ano yung hindi maganda sa'yo, or hindi nila masabi kung ano yung tawag dito, yung kailangan mong improve, yung mga ganyan. So, ibig sabihin, when we build those relationship, or when we build a strong relationship with our clients, it is better for us to ask either feedback, our honest feedback about our targets. So, let's say for example, sino sa inyo or dito sa grupo na to, ayan, yung nakikinig na kaya mong sabihin doon sa classmate mo na mabaho yung kilikili niya. Yung something ganon. That is one way of telling the truth. So, kung ikaw ay sinabihan ng classmate mo, yung totoo to ha, hindi yung gino-joke ka lang niya or pinagtitripan ka niya. But in a nice way of telling the truth. Hindi pwede yung pinapahiya mo siya, or ikaw, ang baho ng kilikili mo, yung mga ganun. Hindi ganon. But yung tawag dito, a constructive feedbacking about yung kausapin mo siya, one-on-one, talking to him or her by telling him or her na, sis, baka Pwede nating hindi sa tawag dito, hindi sa pinaglalaroan ko yung emotions mo or dahil sa kinukutya kita kasi baka mas okay na tawag dito na alagaan mo yung hygiene natin or hygiene mo kasi parang nakakahiya or tawag dito para of course mas nakakahiya kung ibang tao pa, 'di ba? Yung magsasabi nun. So, yung mga ganong situations ba? So, that is the importance of trust and transparency. Another one is communication and engagement. So, when we say communication, it is all about active listening and consistent interaction. Meaning, it is all about active or consistent asking, the feedback, and monitoring your clients kung happy pa ba sila doon sa tawag dito, doon sa product natin or hindi na. So this way, or in this way, we build mutual understanding, strengthen bonds, and align expectation effectively. Bakit? Kasi para ma-retain natin yung, or tawag dito, para ma-maintain natin yung retention and loyalty of our clients or para ma-establish natin yung quality products na ino-offer natin. A third one is personalization and value delivery. So tailoring unique experiences is the key. By knowing your consumers or by knowing your customers, so mas madali na sa atin na mag-personalize ng mga services. Why? Because we know na kung sino yung ano yung kailangan ng mga clients natin, right? So its absence that leads to frustration and missed opportunities. Also, it solves the problem. So, address issues promptly and fairly. Also, effective problem solving turns negative experiences into opportunities to demonstrate commitment and build trust. So, let's say for example, tawag dito, nag-order yung client natin ng steak. Tapos, dahil hindi natin kilala yung client natin, now, yung order niya is medium rare. Ngayon, yung expectation niya ng medium rare ay hindi niya na-meet or hindi mo na-serve ng mas maayos. So basically, in that, we should turn that problem or that tawag dito, that situation, that conflict into opportunities. So dapat gamitin natin yon as an opportunity to know better about that specific clients or to deliver better services dun sa mga clients natin. Ayan. So, next one, the first strategy is in knowing or in building a strong relationship with our clients is by customer segmentation. So, when we say customer segmentation, it is all about knowing your clients, ayan, through their demographic, geographic, and psychographic and behavioral. So when we say demographic segmentation, it includes by dividing. When we say segmentation kasi, it is all about the dividing of people according to yung mga ganyan, age, income, religion, ayan, education level, socioeconomic, family size, family status, yung mga ganyan. That is demographic segmentation. Meaning, hindi natin we are dividing our target market in order for us to understand better at para mas personalize yung mga products and services na i-offer natin sa kanila. Kasi ma-divide na natin, ma-identify na natin kung ano yung gusto ng mga young adults, and ng mga senior citizen, right? Then we have also geographic segmentation. So when we say geographic segmentation, it is all about the places they are into, 'di ba? Their climate, yung mga ganyan. Kasi magkakaiba. Yung mga taga-Isabela ay iba yung perception nila ng isang product versus yung mga taga-Quirino. Yung mga ganyan. For example. So also, the psychographic segmentation. So when we say psychographic segmentation, it also includes the lifestyle, the interests, the opinions, or the influences, ayan, or the influencers ng mga tao behind them. Ayan, behind their purchase purchase. Okay. Or purchase behavior rather. And then behavioral. So it talks about their tawag dito, their purchase history, it is based on the patterns with the products, ayan, and services, kung gaano sila katagal bumili bago sila bumili ulit, yung mga ganyan, their brand loyalty traits, price sensitivity, purchasing styles, ayan, and the usage frequency. Okay, so in this criteria, we will be able to understand our customers better. So next one, profiling key customers groups. So after classifying customers into distinct segmentation, ayan, so we will be able to matatarget na natin kung sino yung specific target, yung specific market natin. Ayan, our customers natin. And then after that, ayan, tailored strategies for each segment. So, ibig sabihin, ano yung pwede mong i-offer doon sa mga tawag dito, doon sa mga senior citizens, something like that. So, adapting marketing and sales and product approaches to fit the unique needs of each segments and preferences of each identified segments. So, it customized strategies lead to improve customers' experiences and higher campaign and return of investment. So, dahil kakilala na natin, mas kilala na natin kung sino yung may nangangailangan ng ganong product natin. So, mas mabilis na lang natin i-offer yung mga products natin. Let's say, for example, by giving coupons, by giving discount cards, alam na natin, ma-identify na natin kung sino yung mga possible natin pwedeng bigyan, pwedeng offeran, yung mga ganon. So, strategy 2 is enhancing customer experience or yung tinatawag nating CX. Okay, how do we enhance customer experience? Number 1, through mapping customer's journey. So, we must visualize the entire customer's experiences by revealing or identifying your key to improvement. Ayan. So, ano ba yung, ayan, basahin ninyo yung mga yung mga feedback ng mga clients natin, yung kanilang ugali, yung kanilang behaviors. Ayan. So after that, identifying touch points. So we should pinpoint yung mga tawag dito, yung post-purchase, yung mga feedback nila, and then we should analyze it better and then strategize. So papasok na tayo dito sa improving of our services and products. Another one is leveraging technology and data. So, we should using, lalo na dito sa industry natin, hindi na tayo pwede yung di ba? Kung makikita niyo yung mga feedback form natin ngayon is QR na lang. Scan the QR and then pindot-pindot ka na lang. Unlike dati na kailangan mo pang magsulat-sulat, something like that. So, CRM softwares nurtures customers' relationship. It improves journey, guides sales, and manages interaction, tracks data, and builds strong customer ties for better business outcomes. So, meaning, na-identify na natin kung tawag dito kung ilan yung bumili ng ganitong specific na flavor ng milk tea, yung mga ganyan. Kung tawag dito, na-identify na din natin kung sino yung mga clients natin, right? Lalo na kapag may mga loyalty cards, i-swipe lang natin, ma-identify na din natin kung kailan siya, ilang beses siyang mag-grocery ng ilang every month, yung mga ganyan. So, data collection and analysis by effective collecting of the customer relations management system. So, we manage continuous data stream for informed decisions and personalized engagement. Ayan. And then, by using AI automation of customer service. So, let's say, for example, by giving messages, yung mga ganyan. So, dahil nalaman na natin, so, di ba, yun yung gamit ng loyalty cards natin, ay yung mga cards na pinifill outan nila sa atin. Di ba, binibigyan tayo ng mga email address, yung mga ganyan, number, contact number, and then, kung mapapansin niyo later on, may mga may mga advertisement na, may mga tawag dito, may mga paalala na sila sa inyo, something like that. So those are an example of AI automation customer service. Now, strategy 4 is the loyalty program and retention initiatives. So in this factor or in this strategy, we will be designing effective loyalty programs. So how can we do that? So we should focus in the acquisition, spending, and retention of our clients. Ayan. So we should have a clear strategic objectives. Ayan, communications and engagements, and customer-centric design of loyalty program. Paano natin mahihikayat yung mga clients natin na maging loyal sa atin, na tayo pa rin ang piliin despite of many competitors. So, second one is the proactive strategies or retention strategies. So, address retention issues by nurturing holistic employee well-being. So, first one is by designing a strategy on how you will build your core in your business. So, for example, di ba? In business or in the hospitality industry, we are a customer-centric or people-centric industry, meaning we are dealing with our clients. Now, the people who will do the services or the product or who engage with our customers is our employees. Therefore, we should build a strong core. Ayan, strong with high quality services na i-offer ng mga employees natin. So what will we do? So magbigay tayo ng mga ng mga reward system, yung mga ganyan, to motivate our employees to do better in giving services. Ayan, or to provide a quality service. Third one is win-back campaigns. So re-engage customers who have churned. So meaning we must implement targeted campaigns to address past concerns and offer renewed value, fostering a second chance at loyalty. Ibig sabihin, for example, yung isang target yung isang customers natin, according to our data, hindi na siya pumunta mag-grocery sa atin. So what will we do? We must send yung advertisement or AI tools, campaigns, yung mga ganyan, offering new products, yung mga ganyan. So next, how do we measure success and continuous improvements? So first one is the key performance indicators or yung tinatawag nating monitoring tools natin. Another one is customers feedback mechanism. So we must identify a customer satisfaction or their insights, their thoughts about our products. So next is the interactive strategy and refinement. So measure, analyze, act, refine, repeat, and continuous the growth. So that's it. So it is all about it is all about knowing your target market and the effectiveness of learning. More about their post-purchase. Okay? So, next, another topic is marketing research and environment strategic insights. So, we will be understanding a market landscape through an effective strategy. So, paano tayo makakagawa ng strategy? Through proper market research. So, when we say marketing research, it is a systematic process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting data about market. So, it helps companies understand and the customer's behavior, preferences, and market dynamics for informing decision making. So what is the importance of market research? So to gain customers' insights, understand market trends, to reduce risk in the new product launches, Ayan, and essential for a long-term business success. And also, it helps, this market research helps your marketing plan, ayan, para maging successful. So, what is the role in decision making? So, marketing research or strong marketing research provides critical information to guide strategic choices, and it helps decision making navigates market changes and ensure business viability. So what are the different types of market research? So we have the methodologies, ayan, about gathering data to your clients, yung mga feedback form na sagot natin, that is also considered as market research. Ayan, yung mga feedback form na hingi-hingi natin, monitoring tools, yung mga ganyan. So, what is the process of research or market research? First is to identify of course, those specific objectives of your research. Para saan ba yung research mo? What is your main topic, or what is your main reason? Why did you choose why did you choose that study? Second is develop a research plan. So design a comprehensive roadmap in terms of methodologies, who is your target market, what is the process of data sourcing, saan yung location, saan yung location ng ng research mo. Ayan, sino yung sino yung participants natin. Ayan, and also the timelines for effective data gathering. So, Step 3 is data collection methods. So, implements chosen techniques on how we gather the relevant information. So, let's say, for example, ano yung strategy mo to gather information? Ano ba yung research natin? Is it qualitative? Is it a mixed method? Is it quantitative or experimental ba yan? So, we must know that. Step 4 is data analysis and interpretation. And then, of course, yung results and discussion, and then the recommendations and all. Diba? So, yun. So, key market research methodologies, ayan, by having a surveys, interviews, ayan, second research or yung mga secondary research na natin is yung mga internal and external reports, kagaya ng, for example, yung mga sales report, monthly reports, annual reports from the different departments, that is considered as researches. Ayan, the qualitative and quantitative, and the sampling and data reliability. Okay, so understanding the market environment. Okay, so marketing environment, it encompasses the external and internal. Ano ba yung tinatawag nating internal? Okay, so when we say internal, it talks about the core, yung nasa loob ng business natin, like yung customers, yung employees, ayan. So, it contributes to the price, the promotion, the research, something like that. And then, we have also the external. So, when we say external, it talks about other people. Ayan, the demographic factors, economic factors, yung mga ganyan. So, let's say, for example, the competitions, technology, economic, ayan, political, legal factors, environmental factors, political factors, cultural, geographic, international, and so on and so forth. So, yun. Ayan. So, what is the impact of knowing the market strategy? So, understanding the environment by knowing, syempre, mas ma-identify na natin yung, of course, the SWOT analysis of our business. Mas ma-identify na natin kung na-define na natin yung strength, weaknesses natin. So, ibig sabihin, mas mabilis sa atin makapag-create ng mga strategies on how to lessen the weaknesses, and para ma-strengthen yung strength natin. And of course, para mabigyan ng plan yung mga opportunities, yung market opportunities natin, and to address yung mga threats sa business natin. Now, when we say macro environmental factors, so these are the different marketing research analysis na ginagawa sa isang business. So when we say pastel analysis, ayan, yung pinagawa ko kasi sa inyo is SWOT analysis. Pero meron din yung ginagamit natin in the business na pestle analysis. So when we say pestle analysis, it encompasses the broader external forces shape how business operates, make strategic decision, and significantly impacting the overall economy. So, PESTEL meaning political and legal influences, E for economic conditions, C for socio-cultural trends, T for technological advancement, and E for environmental concerns. So, in this one, so tawag dito, mas malawak. Ayan, yung analysis natin compare doon sa ating SWOT analysis in terms of the opportunities and threats, 'di ba? So, in terms ma-identify na natin or tawag dito mas specific kung saan siya sa political, economic, social, and so on and so forth. Now, we have the micro-environmental factors. So, these influences directly the business operations and your decision making. Let's say, for example, the whole company. Ayan. So, it also includes your, tawag dito, yung mga employees natin, yung operation culture natin, the suppliers, our suppliers, our customers, our competitors analysis, and public and stakeholders. So, how do we integrate research and environmental analysis? So, by gathering these three, ayan, we can understand the environmental system and strategic, or we can strategize the decision, our marketing strategies. So, by one method is SWOT analysis. So, it integrates, ayan, the strength, weaknesses, and external opportunities and threats. So, this SWOT analysis enhance the combinations of the core, the internal factors, and the external factors. And then, identifying opportunities and threats. So, by identifying the opportunities, so, ano nga ba yung mga ways on how we can grow, ayan, and how can we address, and of course, when we are strategizing our marketing strategies, so, mas na-address din natin yung mga possible threats, and risk. Okay? So, developing adaptive strategies, defining organizational direction, so it can lead to targeted actions, informed choices, and resilient and dynamic condition. Kaya nga dun sa promotional plans natin, kung ano yung nilagay ninyo dun sa SWOT analysis ninyo, just address those different, or dun sa recommendations ninyo, just address the threats. Ayan, and weaknesses. Ayan. So, yun. And then, for our module 14, so understanding market. So, more effective marketing strategies, so we must understand our market. Kagaya nga nung nabanggit ko nga kanina regarding dun sa market segmentation. So, na-discuss ko na to kanina regarding market segmentation. It is all about the dividing of potential customers into more specific division. Ayan. So, benefits of market segmentation, it enhance marketing effectiveness. Ayan, bakit? Kasi mas identified na kung sino yung target market natin kasi na-divide na nga siya. Also, improve resource allocation. So, mas tawag dito, business can optimize the allocation in marketing budgets because we identified kung sino yung specific target market na natin and better customers understanding. So, it provides deep insights into customers' needs, behaviors, and preferences. So, it allows you to personalize your services, your product offerings, to your target markets and stronger competitive advantage. Why? Tawag dito, ano yung advantage natin? Mas kilala natin yung target market natin. So, these are the different market segmentation. Nabanggit ko na to kanina. Ayan, the different, ayan, geographical, behavioral segmentations. So, steps to implement market segmentation. Number 1, understand the diverse requirement of the broad target market. Okay, ano ba yung kailangan ng target market natin? Second, divide the customers into the distinct group based doon sa kailangan mo. Ayan. Third one is the develop segment profiles. Okay. So meaning, create detailed description on each identified market segment. So for example, demographics. Ano ba yung kailangan natin? Kailangan ba natin specify yung kanilang gender or yung age lang? Yung mga ganyan. So next is evaluate segment attractiveness. Okay, assess viability and potential profitability of each segment. Yung mga yung mga adults, ano ba yung mga possible na pwede nating i-offer sa kanila? Doon sa mga young people, ano ba yung mga doon sa mga sa mas bata, elementary, high school, ano ba yung pwede nating i-offer? And so on and so forth. So position the offering. So tailor products. So by understanding your target market, ano ba yung kaya mo namang i-offer? Ayan. So examples of market segmentations. Ayan, nabanggit na din ito kanina. Yan, challenges in market segmentation. Okay, so ano ba yung mga challenges? Number 1, too many niche segments, increase operational costs, dilutes marketing efforts, and reduce profitability. Bakit? Kasi na-OA-an natin. Yung pala, kailangan lang pala nating identify yung natin through their geographic. For example, yung natin, yung target market natin is taga-Cabarugis. Nag-psychological pa tayo, and so on and so forth, yung mga ganyan. So, ibig sabihin na overestimate natin yung mga, or na overstudy natin yung target market natin. Na, another one is high cost in data acquisition. Bakit? It takes time. In terms of the market segmentation, it takes time because it concludes the market research. Yan. Next one is dynamic market changes. So it involves or evolves consumer preferences, rapid technological shifts, and new market entrants and trends. So, ibig sabihin, when we do market segments, ayan, dapat i-strategize natin na mabilis lang din. Ayan, yung pag-gather natin. Dahil kung hindi pa natin tapos yung market segmentation natin or market research natin, wala na sa trend yung pwede nating i-offer. Ayan. So, those are the challenges. Next one is Module 15, our last module is Understanding Tourism Marketing. Now, ano ba ang meron sa industry natin na pwede nating i-offer? Ayan. So, let's say, example, can you define or tawag dito, ano ba yung mga example of trends na ngayon? So let's say for example, in terms of transportation, di ba dati kailangan pa ng barya, kailangan pa ng money para magpamasahe, yung mga ganyan. Ngayon, lalo na sa mga cities like Manila, something ganon, yung mga ganyan, na lang, pwede mo nang bayaran through online yung pamasahe natin o yung mga cards natin. So, pwede nang gamitin yung mga yon to, to travel. Okay? So, the evolving landscape of tourism. So, as we all know that our industry, tourism and hospitality industry is a fast-paced industry. Ang bilis magbago. Now, the travel industry shows the resilience with the demand poised in the continuous growth in 2025. So, it concludes with $11.1 trillion as a global contributions, because when we say tourism, it is the process of movement of other people, or of people, di ba? Pag pumunta ka lang, for example, ikaw taga San Agustin, pumunta ka dito sa Quirino, to study, that is considered as tourism. Ayan, 'di ba bumili ka ng candy sa daan habang bumabiyahe, habang naghihintay ka ng sasakyan doon sa terminal, that is considered as tourism. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, it also offers opportunities like jobs, yung mga ganyan, creation of new products, innovation, and all. So, now, we have the changing traveler behavior. So, let's say for example, dati, because of this trend, because of AI and all, hindi na natin kailangan ng tour guides. Yung mga ganun. Ano na ang nangyayari? Mas dumadami na yung mga solo traveler natin, yung mga ganyan. Let's say for example, yung mas, tawag dito, kapag ikaw ay may pera na, yung mga ganyan, mas hindi na tayo takot bumiyahe. Why? Because we have our means. Hindi na natin kailangan magtanong sa ibang tao kung nahihiya man tayo, kung introvert man tayo, hindi na natin kailangan magtanong. Why? We can go to our destination by using our phones. Right? So, diverse preference in terms of shaping travel choices. So, 'di ba, mas nagiging adventurous na yung mga tao, yung mga ganyan. Ayaw na nila nung mga typical na mga travel destinations. Why? Because they have all the means of searching everything in the computer, kung ano yung meron doon sa destinations na yun. And influence of life events and external factors. So those are the different traveler behavior. 'Di ba? Like, let's say for example, your parents might be comparing their generation to our generation or to your generation. Let's say, oh, bakit nung bata naman ako, hindi naman ako gumagala ng ganyan. Iba noon. Why? Because takot sila. 'Di ba? They have the attitude or behavior na takot silang lumabas. Unlike dito sa atin ngayon na we are free. 'Di ba? So let's say for example, marunong ka lang, alam mo lang kung ano yung address mo, may pera kang pamasahe, tawag dito, may mga friend kang kasama, you can go wherever you want. Right? So that is now tourism in our generation. Now, the impact of technology in tourism. So, kagaya na nabanggit ko nga sa inyo kanina, AI helps us in our industry. Okay. So, in that, the core principle of tourism marketing. So, effective tourism marketing thrives on deeply understanding your audience by crafting unique experiences, by crafting unique packages to offer to your target markets. So, and consistently building a memorable brand preferences. So, what will we do? Ayan, kagaya na banggit ko nga kanina sa inyo kanina, we must define your target market, understand your target market, and then craft unique value propositions, highlight what makes your tourism offering distinct, what makes your your products or your destinations more more appealing. Yan. So, building a strong brand identity. So, by creating a consistent and memorable image that resonates with the target market and, of course, a long-term decision making. So, also by tourism sustainability, ayan, hospitality, promotional sustainability, marketing sustainability rather, yung mga ganyan. So, makakapag-create tayo ng quality or we can build a strong relationship and loyalty to our clients if we do or if we maintain our services as quality as from day one. Ayan. So, what helps the digital marketing for tourism? Ayan. So, it optimizes online preference for search engines and ensures visibility. Let's say, for example, maghahanap ka ng pupunta ka ng Cebu. So, what will we do? Diba? So, by searching, traveling to Cebu from Quirino Province. So, sasabihin niyo na doon kung ano yung mode of transportation from Quirino Province to Cebu. So, let's say, for example, bibigyan ka pa niya ng choices. So, pwede kang mag-airplane. Ayan, pwede kang mag-airplane from Kawayan to or to Gigarao to Cebu, yung mga ganyan. Or to Manila rather, or to Pampanga, yung mga ganyan. Or bibigyan ka ng choice to take a bus, yung mga ganyan. Or through water transportation, yung mga ganon. So, bibigyan ka, ang bilis na ngayon. And then also, it creates compelling stories, video, and guides for destinations. So, maliban doon sa mga guides, maps na ibibigay niya sa'yo, so, mabibigyan ka na lang din. I-search mo lang kung ano yung mga possible activities na pwede mong gawin doon na pwede mong pasyalan, yung mga pwede mong i-enjoy for 2 days and 3 nights. So, ibibigay niya na yun sa'yo. Ayan. Also, social engaged travelers on platforms like Instagram and TikTok, and also they can use it or you can use that as your marketing strategy. Gaya nung mga nabanggit nyo kanina ng mga hashtags, yung mga ganon, tawag dito, in going or enjoying your destinations. And also, leverage platforms to reach wider strategies like yung mga Expedia, Booking.com, Agoda, ayan, Travelocity, or also yung sa social media ng mga ng governments natin like yung mga tourism offices, yung mga ganyan. So, traditional and experiential marketing. So, ano ba yung tinatawag nating experiential marketing? So, it immerses consumer based on their experience. So, when we say traditional naman, it is all about knowing what is what is the product of that certain destination. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi niyang traditional, is kung ano lang yung ino-offer sa'yo. So, when we say experiential marketing, it is all about other people talking their experience, other people telling their feedbacks in that specific destinations. So, this builds when we say experiential marketing, so this builds positive brand image through strategic communication by getting stars dun sa mga destinations, yung mga ganyan. Also, leverage planned events like sports, conventions, festivals to attract people. Ayan, or to promote destinations or yung tinatawag nating event tourism. Also, by allowing other people or asking other people for collaboration and partnerships or alliances. Pag-host pa lang ng mga concerts, ng mga pageants, yung mga ganyan. So, it attracts people. So, it also involves or you should involves also local communities in tourism initiatives to foster authenticity, sustainability, and mutual benefits in enhancing visitors' experiences. 'Di ba? Kung makikita ninyo doon sa Benguet, 'di ba? Doon sa area ni Apo Wangod. Ayan, mahirap yung daan pero bakit lagi pa rin siya pinupuntahan? Yan. What was the reason? So maybe because of the local community in engagement, right? Hindi natin kailangan or minsan hindi natin kailangan ng magandang area, right? Ang kailangan lang natin lalo na sa generation na to, ang kailangan nila is ma-experience kung ano ang meron doon, the authentic experience na kaya nilang ibigay, ayan, sa mga tao. Ayan. So, yun yung mga trends ngayon. So, that is experiential marketing. Now, how can we measure the effectiveness of that marketing as yung nabanggit din natin kanina, the key performance indicator or yung monitoring tools natin by tracking the progress of the visitors or yung the satisfaction of the visitors or yung the number of the visitors. Okay, when I say number is that the population, ayan, kung dumadami ba sila, nadadagdagan ba yung mga visitors natin, yung mga ganyan. Analyzing the campaign data by reviewing the campaign's websites in identifying the strategies. Also, understand customer satisfaction as we use to improve our businesses or it enhance our businesses or our offerings and measuring the return of investment. Okay. So, what is sustainable and responsible tourism marketing? It is all about promoting positive impact and travel industry. Kaya nga, don't underestimate my thoughts in terms of these practices. Because maybe dahil siguro sa nasanay akong nagtuturo ng tourism. Ayan. And basically, ang pinaka-core ko in terms of of traveling is yung cleanliness. Ayan, the promoting of eco-friendly practices or not literally by cleaning. Ayan, by helping the locals. Ayan, in sustaining the destination. How? Paano ba natin yung gawin? Okay. Paano nga ba natin yung gagawin? So by as simple as basura mo, iuwi mo. Ayan. So, by promoting eco-friendly practices like, kailangan nating maging eco-conscious. Kung hindi man natin yun ma-imagine, baka at least, let's stay green. Ayan. Okay, so community-based initiatives. Ayan. So, another one is to support local economies. Yan, improve living standards in in the destinations and ethical marketing and storytelling by knowing the true values, the core of other people and highlight positive environmental and social impact. Now, what is the future trends of tourism marketing? Personalization and AI in travel. Ayan, yung nabanggit ko nga kanina. It enables tailored experiences. Mas, mas na-identify. Kayo na, yung hindi nyo na kailangang mag-ask to other person, lalo na sa mga introvert. Ayan. And then, the power of influencer marketing, 'di ba? Lalo na kapag may napanood tayo, nakita lang nun, ay, nakita ko sa Instagram, maganda pala dito, sige, go, puntahan natin. So, 'di ba? That is the trends in marketing. Although it says here that it is a future, pero nangyayari na ngayon, 'di ba? So, minsan hindi na natin or hindi ang motto na natin ngayon in terms of tourism or in terms of marketing is to see is to believe. 'Di ba? Kung ano yung nakikita natin in our market is yun na yung pinupuntahan natin or chine-check natin. So that's all for that's all for today. So I am looking for the yung ecotourism, I am looking for ecotourism yung 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 10 commandments parang ganon. No, wait lang. Ayun. Okay. Asa na nga ba yun? Yung, yeah. So, yun, leave only, yun, I would like to, to leave this one. The quote, okay? So, lalo na sa ano natin, sa industry natin. So, minsan, ang ginagawa kasi nating keychain or yung ginagawa kasi nating memorabilia when we are buying yung mga keychain na shells, yung mga ganyan, or yung mga branches ng mga kahoy, yung mga ganyan. So, although okay, but we should, tawag dito, also help our environment or the sustainability of our environment. So by doing that, we did not help or we are not helping the environment. We are just helping other people or the local communities, economy, pero we are destroying our environment. Therefore, ang gagawin natin or we should take only memories and leave only footprints. Wala tayong ibang we should just buy tawag dito, we should encourage other to just buy yung mga damit, yung mga bags, yung mga ganun. Pero yung mga seashells or whatever it is, yung mga ganun, natin yun, i-omit natin yun. Although it is nice, it is good, basura siya ng pero yung mga iba kasi, 'di ba, lalo na yung mga business owners, para makapag-create sila or para ma-meet nila yung demand ng mga tao is kailangan nilang mag-supply. Now, saan ba nanggagaling yung supply na yon? Ang ginagawa na nila is sinisisid na nila yung ocean and then they get as many as they have doon sa reef natin. So sinisira na nila yung reef natin just to give the demand of our local or of our tourists. So I think yun naman yung ethical considerations natin dapat na marketer. So dapat when we create products, alalahanin natin that we should sustain our environment, help our environment because in the hospitality and tourism industry, this is our capital. Ito yung pinaka-capital natin. But because tawag dito, kapag walang destinations, ano yung mangyayari? Wala din tayong trabaho, wala din tayong mai offer. Let's example, yung nakaraang bagyo, 'di ba? Diyan sa part ng Aurora, every summer, every now and then marami tayong vacant. May mga may mga leisure time tayo. What will we do? We go to Kasiguran, we go to Aurora province and so on and so forth. But because of hindi naman natin yun kagustuhan, but because of the typhoon na nasira yung natin na kalikasan. So what happened now in Aurora province? So 'di ba nasira yung mga beaches, tawag dito, sira yung mga lodging establishments, may mga sirang lodging establishments, sira yung daan and so on and so forth. Yung mga ganyan. So ano na ngayon ang nangyayari? So ibig sabihin, magsasara or let's say magbaback to zero sila. So ano ngayon mangyayari sa mga employee? Ayan. So, anong mangyayari? So, ibig sabihin, mawawalan din tayo ng trabaho. So, let's all protect our environment. Ayan. So, I will leave you this quote by the chief, Native American leader chief in Seattle. Quoted, take only memories and leave only footprints. So, thank you very much, guys, for your time and listening. Mabuhay everyone and good luck on your exam.